Tomorrow's main event has officially been locked in, but the road to this moment has been anything but smooth. Machado, Garry, and Carlos Prates both successfully made weight today, but behind the official numbers lies a deeper story brimming with tension, rumors, and unexpected twists. Sources close to the fighters have hinted at escalating animosity during fight week, suggesting that behind those composed weigh-in photos, emotions were boiling over. Garry, known for his sharp wit and calculated mental warfare, reportedly got under the skin of Prates during backstage encounters, leading to a heated exchange that UFC officials were quick to diffuse. Meanwhile, Prates' team has been quietly battling whispers of a minor training injury that could impact his performance under the bright lights. With both men now poised to clash, the real drama unfolds tomorrow night. But it's clear that the stakes are far higher than a simple win or loss. Fans are not just tuning in for the fight, they're tuning in to see which man can truly rise under pressure. The official numbers might be in, but the real score is yet to be settled inside the octagon. Garry versus Carlos Prates, tension beyond the scale. As the spotlight intensifies on Machado, Garry, and Carlos Prates, the tension between the two fighters continues to escalate far beyond the confines of the octagon. Insiders close to the camps have reported that a minor scuffle nearly broke out at the fighter hotel, with verbal barbs being exchanged over breakfast that led security to intervene. Prates, maintaining a stoic public image, is privately reported to be seething, with his coaches scrambling to keep his emotions in check ahead of the most significant fight of his career. Meanwhile, Garry has leaned fully into the mind games, posting cryptic social media messages, hinting at weaknesses he plans to expose. Observers at the final stare-down noted a palpable shift in Prates' body language, suggesting the psychological warfare may already be taking its toll. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, there are persistent murmurs that Prates has been nursing a lingering knee issue, an injury not severe enough to pull out, but significant enough to impact his mobility. If true, this could drastically tip the scales in Garry's favor. The energy heading into this bout is electric, and if pre-fight behavior is any indication, fans are in for a contest fueled as much by emotion as by technical skill. Fiziev versus Bahamondes, redemption or ruin? Rafael Fiziev enters his next matchup against Ignacio Bahamondes at UFC Buku, desperately needing a win to salvage his rapidly declining momentum. Once seen as an unstoppable force in the lightweight division, Fiziev is now riding a 3-fight losing streak, and whispers from inside his camp suggest all is not well. Reports of internal discord and a recent coaching shakeup have surfaced, with sources claiming Fiziev's confidence has been deeply shaken following his unanimous decision loss to Justin Gaethje. In contrast, Bahamondes approaches this fight surging with momentum, having strung together 3 consecutive victories, capped by a dominant first-round submission over Jalen Turner. Behind the scenes, Bahamondes has been working with an underground striking coach whose unorthodox training methods have drawn praise from those close to the fighter. This clash represents more than just another contest. It's a crossroads moment for both men. For Fiziev, another loss could push him dangerously close to irrelevance in a stacked division. For Bahamondes, it's a chance to cement his place among the elite. As the two prepare to clash, questions loom. Can Fiziev reclaim the magic that once made him a feared contender? Or will Bahamondes expose a once great fighter who has lost his edge? Gamrot versus Klein. High stakes, quiet war. Mateusz Gamrot and Ludovit Klein are set to square off at UFC Vegas 107, and while this bout hasn't generated massive headlines, those paying attention understand the enormous stakes involved. Gamrot, fresh off a controversial split decision loss to Dan Hooker at UFC 305, finds himself in a precarious position. Many insiders argue that Gamrot was the rightful winner in that fight, and the frustration from that perceived injustice has fueled his preparation for Klein. Meanwhile, Klein has been quietly but steadily climbing the ranks, his recent unanimous decision win over Roosevelt Roberts serving notice that he's a legitimate threat. Sources close to Klein's camp reveal that he's been sparring with elite featherweights to sharpen his already razor-sharp striking, hinting that a more dangerous version of Klein will step into the cage this time around. For Gamrot, it's a must-win to stay relevant in a cutthroat division. For Klein, it's an opportunity to leapfrog into the conversation of serious contenders. Both fighters understand the magnitude of this moment, and while the media spotlight might be elsewhere, the ramifications of this bout could ripple throughout the division for months to come. Dricus-Khamzat, contract chaos, and Khamzat showdown. Amid growing speculation, Dricus du Plessis' camp has come forward to quash rumors of injury that had cast doubt over his anticipated clash with Khamzat Chimaev. According to his coach Morin Visser, du Plessis remains healthy and ready, but bureaucratic red tape has delayed the official announcement. Insiders suggest that UFC brass are strategically holding back on confirming the fight to build anticipation for a mega event, likely to be staged in Abu Dhabi later this year. Talks initially centered around a June date, but delays now point toward August or September. Sources close to the negotiations hint that UFC executives see du Plessis versus Chimaev as a potential blockbuster that could headline a major card in the Middle East, tapping into Chimaev's massive fan base there. Despite the delay, du Plessis remains focused, and according to Visser, the team is eager to slam him and slap him on the floor in front of his people, setting the stage for a grudge match fueled by nationalism, pride, and personal vendettas. As the paperwork inches toward completion, anticipation builds for what could become one of the most explosive middleweight title defenses in UFC history. Caio Borralho and João Silva, slingshots and mind games. In a rare and lighthearted break from the grind of training camp, Caio Borralho and João Silva were spotted enjoying themselves on the slingshot ride in Orlando, footage of which quickly made the rounds online. But beneath the laughter and screams, some analysts have raised eyebrows about whether such casual outings signal a lack of focus ahead of critical fights. In the unforgiving world of MMA, where momentum and mental sharpness can make or break careers, moments like these are often scrutinized for signs of overconfidence. Borralho, who has shown flashes of brilliance inside the octagon, has everything to gain and everything to lose at this stage in his ascent. Meanwhile, João Silva's carefree demeanor suggests a fighter riding high on self-belief but also flirting dangerously close to complacency. Coaches often stress the importance of maintaining a killer mindset heading into a fight, and while enjoying downtime can ease nerves, it can also invite lapses in discipline. Whether this excursion will have any tangible effect on their performance remains to be seen, but the stakes are high, and any slip, mental or physical, could prove disastrous under the intense spotlight of UFC competition. Future of the middleweight division: legends fading, new kings rising. As the welterweight division undergoes a seismic shift, rising stars like Ian Machado Garry, Michael Morales, and Shavkat Rakhmonov are making their presence felt with undeniable force. Garry, in particular, has been vocal about what he sees as the decline of former giants like Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington, suggesting that their best days are behind them and that they are now merely clinging to relevance through interviews and public feuds rather than performances inside the cage. In a scathing critique, Garry pointed to their inactivity and lack of meaningful wins in recent years as proof that the torch is being forcibly taken by the new blood. Observers agree that the division is experiencing a renaissance, with younger, hungrier fighters showcasing a level of athleticism, adaptability, and sheer ruthlessness that threatens to push the old guard into permanent retirement. Fighters like Jack Della Maddalena and Sean Brady are adding depth to this new wave, promising a decade of explosive matchups and evolving strategies. As the old legends fade, the cage is being redefined by a generation that fights smarter, hits harder, and fears no legacy. It's not just a new era, it's a complete changing of the guard. Israel Adesanya and Jon Jones. Brotherhood over rivalry. In an unexpected but refreshing display of sportsmanship, Israel Adesanya has made it clear he harbors no resentment following his TKO loss to Nassourdine Imavov earlier this year. Rather than lobbying for an immediate rematch or fueling drama, Adesanya accepted the defeat with humility, stating publicly that Imavov beat him fair and square and that he's ready to move on to the next chapter. More intriguingly, Adesanya hinted at the possibility of future training sessions with Jon Jones, a fighter he once verbally sparred with but now respects deeply. On the Pound for Pound podcast, Adesanya spoke admiringly of Jones's technical mastery, long frame, and strategic mind, suggesting he could learn much from the MMA legend. In response, Jones posted warmly on Instagram, calling the idea amazing, signaling mutual respect between two of the sport's most iconic figures. The potential union between Adesanya and Jones, two of the most cerebral fighters in MMA history, could redefine their respective late career arcs and ignite new excitement among fans. In a sport often driven by animosity, this emerging brotherhood stands as a rare testament to growth, maturity, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Carlos Prates, smash talk and mind games. Carlos Prates has left no room for ambiguity in the build-up to his clash with Machado Garry, openly declaring that he intends not just to beat Garry but to smash him and knock him out. In a fiery interview with MMA Junkie, Prates dismissed Garry's psychological tactics as a sign of weakness, accusing him of trying to mask fear with bravado. Prates asserted that once inside the octagon, emotions would be irrelevant and that his sole focus would be on dismantling Garry piece by piece. Insiders suggest that Prates has undergone one of the most grueling training camps of his career, honing his striking precision and tightening his defensive grappling to prepare for Garry's versatile attack. However, critics argue that Prates' aggressive rhetoric may betray underlying nerves, especially considering Garry's reputation for exposing emotional opponents. With title contention implications looming large, the intensity surrounding this bout is palpable. For Prates, victory would propel him into immediate title discussions, while a loss could derail years of painstaking work. As both fighters prepare to leave everything in the cage, fans can expect a clash marked by skill, rage, and perhaps career-defining consequences. As fight night looms, the narratives surrounding each bout are as compelling as the action itself. From the simmering tension between Garry and Carlos Prates to the quiet desperation of Rafael Fiziev, from Mateusz Gamrot's quest for redemption to Dricus du Plessis's contract drama, the stories unfolding are rich with stakes, pride, and the relentless pursuit of legacy. This weekend isn't just about winners and losers, it's about the shifting sands of power within the UFC. The welterweight and middleweight divisions are undergoing rapid transformation, with legends fading and new kings rising to claim their thrones. As Israel Adesanya and John Jones show a path forward through brotherhood, younger fighters like Bahamondes, Rakhmonov, and Garry are carving their own paths with ruthless ambition. The next era of MMA isn't on the horizon, it's already here. And when the cage door locks tomorrow night, one thing is certain. In this sport, anything can happen, and nothing is ever truly settled until the final bell sounds.